Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the BBON's Money Day Mondays, where every Monday we learn about how to get money for our businesses. We had on someone to do business credit. We had another young lady on to help us as well. Today we have on Dr. Tonya Blackmon, who's going to help us to get grants, which are incredible. You don't have to pay these back. So I love these. We're going to be learning more about them. All right. So a little bit about Dr. Tonya, what she likes to be called. Dr. Tonya is a highly sought after global speaker, professor, business consultant, Mucho Dorero TV show producer. I love that show. She also is military veteran business workshop host of Secure Your Own Bag, 52 Ways to 1K, BD Vision Board, Black Excellence Honoree of 2021, and she has received various other military awards. Dr. Tonya is a 3 times Amazon best-selling author of the books Pray, Slay, and Collect, Boss Moms, International Women of Color Who Boss Up. Her most recent books are Boss Nana, How to Actually Become One, How I Made It Over, I like that too, Prophetic Ethics, and 52 Ways to 1K. Dr. Tonya's articles can be found in the print, digital, and in Success Women's Conference and Black Link magazines in various stores. Be sure to check her out. To empower, educate, and promote existing business owners is Dr. Tonya's God-given mission. Dr. Tonya has hosted our 4 free Secure Your Own Bags virtual summits where over 5,500 listeners tuned in from around the world. During 2022, she hosted in-person business workshops and retreats in Georgia, Florida, and Las Vegas. Just a little bit more about her. She, in addition to grants, she does 501c3 prep, assistance with starting new business document, on-demand digital courses, and business promotions via her TV podcast. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you Dr. Tonya Blackmon. Are you there, Dr. Tonya?
Thank you so much, Ms. Brenda, Easton, and everybody that's tuning in tonight. It's such a blessing to be a part of the BBON family.
Wonderful. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to have you here. We can't wait to hear more about grants. That's the number one question people always ask. How can I get funding for my business? After that is, how can I get it marketed? But before then, they need money to be able to get their business going. So that's where you come in. So you ready to give your presentation?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Tonya.
Thank you. Ms. Brenda, what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to have to share my screen in about maybe 10 minutes or so. But not right now.
Okay, just let me know when.
Okay. Thank everyone. Thank you all for listening. And once again, I want to thank you, Ms. Brenda Eason, for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm not going to be long at all, but I want to be thorough. And tonight, we're going to be talking about 3 surefire ways to get funding for your business. 3 ways. What I'm going to do is, I want to know my audience a little bit more. So I want to know who in here, if you're a business owner and do you own a nonprofit? If you can, put that in the chat for me so that I can see that. I want to know if you're a business owner, please put that in the chat, and then that way I'll get to know you a little bit more as I'm speaking. Thank you for introducing me to Miss Brenda.
Okay, my pleasure.
I am the proud owner of Conglomerate Empowerment. I've been in business for over a decade, and I absolutely love it. I really got started doing business in South Carolina. I'm 53 years old, and I'm proud of it because not many people make it to 50. Hallelujah. I'm not going to hide my age. And back then, we didn't have computers. You guys know what I'm talking about. We didn't have computers and what have you. So what my mom did is matter of fact, they didn't even have computers at all in that little small town that I was from. We only had it in our high schools. So when I was 13 years old, my mom gave me an old typewriter and an old book. And she said, before you go to 9th grade, you're going to learn how to type. And it's amazing because that's really what I do. I'm a virtual assistant and I help people, whatever they need, if it's to start a new business, it's to do business plans, whatever the case may be. And I'm blessed with a group of people, a team of people that love helping people as much as I do. So I'm going to get started. 3 surefire ways to get funding for your business and also for your nonprofit. So it could be a for-profit or nonprofit, either way. One of the first things that I recommend everybody do, number 1, is to get clear. What do you sell? To whom do you serve? Where you offer your services and products? Where are you going to sell them from? Is there a real need for your particular product or service in the marketplace? There's no reason to be doing something if nobody's going to actually buy it from you if there's no need for it. Here's a really good question I want to ask you. If you're starting a nonprofit or a church or a new business, why are you doing it? What are you doing? Are you doing it because you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire? Why do you really do it? And if your goal is just to be a millionaire, then I say stop. Don't even do it. Especially if you're a nonprofit person, because we're in the nonprofits are made to serve the public, the general public, and the people. They're not nonprofits. That's not where you're going to end up being a millionaire. If you want to be a millionaire, then you're going to have to develop a for-profit business. My mom often told me, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I want to be honest with you all. Getting grants is not guaranteed at all. You're not going to get every grant that you put in for. But to me, applying for grants is like looking for a job. Eventually you will get hired and eventually you will get the grants. And the more that you get the grants, the more the outside people will be able to see the good that you're doing, and then the more money will come into your organization. So you do have to continue to apply for it. But I don't want to lie to you guys. It is not an easy process. It's not like it's a sprint. It really is a marathon, and you have to be ready for that. Here's another question I want to ask everybody. As you develop your business or your church or your nonprofit, how will you pay your bills to grow your entity? How are you gonna pay people to help you? That's something that we really have to think about. Yes, nonprofits can and they should generate some type of sales. So yes, find something to sell. And if I was a nonprofit, I would find something real quick to sell. It could be it's something as small as really just creating a book. It doesn't take any money at all to create a book on Amazon. You could actually write a book. And that could be, the proceeds from that book could be what you use in order to pay your bills in your nonprofit or your church. It could also help bring in some sales also for your particular business. So I want to submit this to you. How do you get clear? How do you really get clear? So this is how I did it. This is how I do it with my customers. This is how my clients get clear on what they really want. They actually write out a complete business plan or a nonprofit plan. So don't forget that. That's point number 1. Get clear, and you're going to get clear by actually writing out that complete plan. And it has to be written. It has to be written. I'm hearing the book of Nehemiah in my mind right now. And I love the book of Nehemiah so much. I'm not going to preach, but I love the book of Nehemiah so much because Nehemiah actually had, when he wanted to rebuild that wall and he went before the king, letters were written so that Nehemiah could go and get whatever he needed in order to rebuild that wall. So I believe that was a business plan. I believe that was a nonprofit business plan. So take the time out, set aside the time to completely write that plan. And if you don't know how to write a business plan, there's many templates that's free. If you want me or somebody that works for me to help you, we'll be able to we'll help you do that. Point number 2, get legal. You have to be legal. The government, the Fortune 500, the Fortune 1000 companies, they are not going to just give you money unless they can really prove that you're a business for real. So go through the Secretary of State. I believe it's $170 in Georgia. Go through the Secretary of State and complete those documents in order to be a real legal entity, so that when people look you up, they won't be saying, oh, this person doesn't even have a business, and they're trying to apply for grants. So get legal, become a legal entity. And then point under get legal, there are certain grants that you will never be able to get if you don't have that tax exempt status. Now, do you need it to apply for all of the different grants? No, you don't. That's a lie. I'm not going to lie to you about that. However, most of the grants do require that you become a tax exempt organization. And if you are a nonprofit organization, the application fee is $274. If you're a church, the application fee is $600. Okay, so that's the next step in getting legal. You're going to become a legal entity. You're going to get your free EIN number, and you're also going to apply for that tax exempt status. Now, I have not gotten every grant that I've applied for myself or for other people over the last 10 years. That would be a lie. But what is not a lie is this: we have 100% success rate on getting people their tax exempt status within three to 6 months for the last 10 years. 100% success rate on that. So if you know of anybody that want to get that tax exempt status, I believe that you should contact us if they need any help. Under getting legal, now I want you to become Googleable, if that's a good word. When people put your name in there, there should be all kinds of things that's down the list. On that search engine about what you're doing, okay? First thing you need to do is create a website, even if it's just a couple of pages, make sure that people will be able to find you when they start looking for you. Broadcast your brand. Broadcast your brand. And that's what I want you to do right now. In the chat, if you can, go ahead and put your website in the chat, because I want to be able to go back and look and see what you're doing. Okay? Broadcast your brand everywhere. Do it in print, and it's free to do it from all of the social media websites. You can do that for free. Do it also on BBON. That's what I do. I use BBON to this very day, broadcast it on there too. If you're a nonprofit, start giving. Just start giving. Start where you are. If you have a desire to help women that need encouragement or need help or what have you, pick one person and start helping them. Start where you are. It's not about how much you do, but it's about the fact that you're actually doing it. You get my point? So this is helping you. Please put a number 8 in the chat, because I'm hoping this is being a blessing to you guys. So broadcast your brand. Everybody should know. Like if I was to own a nonprofit, I would get up every day, well, not every day. I would get up Monday through Thursday, and I would say something about my nonprofit, something that we did. I would talk about the challenges. I would share some of the information about what my budget is. Like if I know that I wanted to give 100 children toys, I would say, you know what? My husband and I are going to give toys to, we're sponsoring 2 children, but we need 98 people to also help sponsor the other 98 children. I would broadcast that from Facebook Lives, Instagram Lives, LinkedIn, everywhere I would broadcast it. I will make a video and I would send it to different people that's a part of my cell phone, the little video on there. So just a 30-second video or less, I would just broadcast it. Now, most importantly, when it comes down to getting grants, even if you're a for-profit or nonprofit, lots of times, those are like collaborations, especially if you're getting a whole lot of money. There's no way in the world that one business can actually do all of it unless they're just big old gigantic business. So get into the business of doing collaborations with other people, okay? I often tell people that, people will say, well, it's lonely at the top. I beg to differ. It's crowded at the top for me, because all the people that I'm connected to, we're joining arms together. And you know what we're doing? We're soaring and we're climbing together. So it's crowded at the top, all right? So don't forget to do collaborations. We don't have to do anything on our own. That's what I love about BBON. Miss Brenda has really just taken me and loved on me, and I thank her for that. I don't feel alone, and you don't have to feel alone either. Last part is get funded. The last part is going to be get funded, okay? So the first thing that I want you to do is to know that you do not have to hire a grant writer. If you can write a complete sentence, if you know how to do research, guess what? You can do it all on your own. You don't have to. If you have the time, what I recommend you is you educate yourself. Educate yourself. All right. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put 2 websites in the chat. And what I'd like you to do is I want you to go here and just start educating yourself about how to get grants.
Okay.
It's grants.gov and APTAC. It's in the chat.org, okay? And start educating yourself. You need to educate yourself about the terminology. You need to educate yourself about how to do the budgets. You need to educate yourself about everything concerning grants. There's another one on here that I didn't put down. It's the USA Spending. You know, USA Spending, I don't have the link for it, but if you go to USA Spending, not only will you find how much the government is actually paying, the federal government is paying in different grants and what have you, you'll also be able to find out who received the money. That's right. And then as a nonprofit or as a church and as a small business, what you could do is you could go in as a subcontractor. That's right. You go in as a subcontractor. Remember that word, subcontract. And what it is they've already done the paperwork. The prime organization already done all the paperwork. All you got to do is join hands with them. It's like a collaboration, and you tell them that you're going to do a little small piece of that, you know, and then you get paid for that. But guess what? You didn't have to put in all the hours and hours of work and details and the funding, everything that went on into doing that. So guess what? You can. I want to ask you all a question in the chat if you can. What type of degree do you need in order to apply and win grants? Do you need a degree? 1 for yes, 2 for no. 1 for yes, 2 for no. That's right. No, you don't need a college degree. You do not need a college degree to get a grant. You do not need a college degree to get a grant. That's not one of the criteria at all. You just need to be able to provide the services, and you need to also be able to provide the products that the government is selling. That's it. That's all you need. And you need to be able to find out where the money is. And that's what we're going to talk about in a few minutes when I go, when I share my screen. So remember, get educated. Once you get educated, you'll be able to find where the money is. When you go to grants.gov, the money is there. And I'm going to show you how in a few seconds. I'm going to show you how you could find out what's coming down the pipeline, what is forecasted, and guess what? You can prepare for that. They'll tell you what date they're going to actually be providing those specific grant awards and what the application packages when they will be due. And then you'll be able to, you and your assistant, or you by yourself, or if you can hire somebody to work with you, whatever your situation is, you'd be able to see what's coming down the pipeline on grants.gov. Now, the PTAC, every state has a PTAC, right? PTAC is a great place to go and get free education also. They do online training. They do face-to-face training. I went to PTAC quite a bit when I lived in the Atlanta area. Now I want to share the screen, if that's all right with you, Miss Brenda.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay. Yep, you do not need a college degree. You could be working at Burger King. I often say Burger King because that's where I worked for the first 4 years when I was a teenager. And so you could actually work at Burger King, and let's say that the government needed toilet paper in one of the bases in Georgia, in Columbus, Georgia. They needed just toilet paper. Well, you could actually sit in your car on a lunch break, do the application from your phone, from a smartphone. This is a true story. Do the application from a smartphone, find a middleman that will provide those toilet paper to the Columbus, Georgia. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Base. And you could go right on back in there and finish up your shift. And then another week or two or another month, not a week or two, but another month, because the government waits to pay you, always waits to pay you. But another month or so, you would have gotten your money for providing that specific product, okay? So there's different ways you can provide products, or you can provide services to the government. Now I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go to grants.gov first. All right, I'm going to have to put in this. Grants.gov is a great place to start. And grants.gov is where you're going to also find the grants. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. Okay, so you see what I was saying earlier. All right here, it says how to apply for grants. That's where you would do the education if that's what you want to do. Now, of course, if you need help with this, we will help you. I have a group myself or somebody I know will help you. But I recommend that you go ahead and go through this anyway, because it's just good to know the terminology. It's good to just understand the whole process. Now, I just went to search grants, okay? So do you see where it says forecasted 501? If you see that, put a 1 in the chat. Forecasted 501. You see it? Okay. And then another thing I want you to see is eligibility, all the eligibilities. That means all the type of people that are type of entities, not people, but entities that can apply for these grants. So you see where it says city or township, county governments, for-profits, other than small businesses, school districts, individuals, and 7 on there for 7 on there for individuals. You see nonprofit with the 501c status, nonprofits that do not have the 501c3. You guys get what I'm saying? That's why I said I don't want to lie. Sometimes you don't need that 501c3.
Yes.
If you go all the way down, private institutions, public and state controlled institutions, and you see right here it says small businesses. I'm going to select that one. Small businesses. Okay, so you see over here where it says forecasted. So this is what's coming down the pipeline. The dates are on here, okay?
Okay.
This is adolescent social media use and mental health. So to me, this is like almost doing the research on adolescent social media use and mental health. I'm not gonna read all of them all, but I just wanted to give you guys an understanding of how to go here and really just start looking for what's coming down the pipeline. Behavior intervention scholars, that's interesting. Now, what was interesting to me also was the dissertation. Grants for the early care and education research for scholars, Head Start and child care. This interests me too. Workforce opportunities for rural communities, because I'm from a rural community. Rural communities really do need help. They need people that really care. And like I said earlier, if you're a church, you can apply for grants. If you're a nonprofit, you can apply for grants. If you're a small business, you can apply for grants. We all can apply for grants. Okay, I hope that was a blessing to you. So remember, grants.gov. All right, let's see. Let's put in a word. Let me look and see. Can somebody tell me their business? Tell me the name of your business. I remember Minister Frankie from yesterday. She said cleaning, right?
Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna see janitorial and see what comes up. Just search and see what comes up. Training program, health, training. I don't see anything in particular for janitorial, but I do want to give a tip to Minister Frankie. Minister Frankie, all the years that I've actually been doing grant writing, I have seen janitorial grants every year consistently. At the state level. So I don't know if you're already doing that, but I would check. I would go once you got to go through the process, have a legal business. You have to do what you got to do in order to get into the SAM system. All of that's free, but it's time consuming. And it can be confusing. I'm not going to lie to you. Once you're in the SAM system, as a for-profit, then what you're going to do is you're going to register in the DMV area. And there's 3 different areas. Okay. And then register on that site. And then they're going to they need people to always clean. There's always contracts available for janitorial services. I hope that's a blessing to you. All right, let's see what I'm going to go to next. All right, so here's another one. This is how I find grants for my clients. I'm going to share my screen again. Now, this is from this particular website that I use. So let me tell you how I do it. If you pay, I think it's $99. If you pay for the Chronicle of Philanthropy, this right here, if you pay for this, $99 for this, okay? I'm not affiliate with them. I don't make any money by telling y'all to, this is the way that I did it. So the Chronicle of Philanthropy, if you pay for this, okay? I'm gonna stop sharing because I gotta go back to another one. This is what you get, and this is where the grants are for foundations, okay? So you found out where the grants are. I told you grants.gov, that's the federal grants. I hope I'm not going too long.
Good.
No, you're just fine.
I just have one other question. I had it's called Oasis Novelty. It's a website where I was selling just merchandise, novelty merchandise.
Okay.
And I have I have an LSC for it, and it's legal.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I don't know, it hasn't been doing quite business for quite a while. It's been about maybe 15, 18 years I had this.
Have you been, what state did you form the LLC in?
Virginia.
Okay, the state of Virginia. So normally every year you have to do pay some type of annual fee. Have you been doing it over the last several years?
No, I didn't know I had to. I was like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you have to pay some type of annual fee. And I know the state of Georgia, if you miss 1 year and you have to redo it, because I've done it before. I missed 1 year, y'all. I'm gonna just be honest. I had to pay $250 to get it reinstated. So you may have to, honestly, you may have to start over.
Okay.
Yeah, you may have to start, and it's okay.
Website though. I still have.
Pardon me?
I still have the website.
Okay, what you could do is, I recommend that you check and see, and this is something else different that I'm sharing, USPTO. You want to check the USPTO office and see if your name is still good. See if nobody else is using your name. And if your name is still free and in the clear, then you can contact the Secretary of State in Virginia. And then I would probably talk to somebody on the phone if possible.
I have the what you would call the from I think it was GoDaddy.
Okay.
I have the rights to that name. What the name? Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You want to make sure that you own everything in that line, and everything concerning. When I say the line, I mean that's your name and you're the only person with that name. That's why I said the USPTO trademark. Put your name in there to see if nobody else is using it, and if that's free and clear, then resubmit that same paperwork again through the Secretary of State.
Okay.
And then you're good. And sometimes it takes people, I do it in almost every state. I've done it in not every state, but in a lot of states for my clients.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for Virginia recently. Virginia was like a week or two. It didn't take long at all for the paperwork to come back for the LLC, no, the nonprofit. And I did a nonprofit recently in the state of Virginia. So it shouldn't take you that long to go ahead and get that done. But get it done as soon as you can, because I recommend that you actually get that done as soon as you can. Because the other pieces of the process, I don't know if you're going to do a for-profit, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so it won't take you as long, but if somebody is doing a nonprofit, we've been having like a turnaround time between 3 months and 6 months for people to get their tax exempt letters back from the government. And for churches, it's, has been the longest at that little 6 month period.
Right.
So it shouldn't, but if you want to like do a one-on-one with me, Ms. Brenda has my information, and you can go ahead and book a call so that we'll be able to, so we'll be able to accommodate you, and I'll be able to really listen to you,
Right.
and walk you through that process of what you have to do.
Okay. That sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you for asking that question.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for one more thing. And I told you guys about the philanthropy, right?
Yes.
I suggested that that you paid, I think it was $199. So do you see what it says with your Chronicle of Philanthropy subscription? You have full access to Grant Station's extensive and regularly updated information about grants, government funds.
All right. Yeah, I see that.
So with that subscription, you get this for free.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Verify it. Okay. Make sure that they're still doing that. Verify it. And then what I do with clients is I go to grantstation.com. And this is where I find the foundation grants. So grants are given at different levels. You got the federal government that gives grants, right? Those different agencies. And then you have the state grants. And then you have some of the counties that will give grants. But then you got the foundational grants where like Bill and Melinda Gates foundations. You see what I'm saying? Or the Walmart grants, the people that the Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 are really just regular people too. You know, they're not always well-known people, but you can get grants through them also. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
What do you see?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. So this is what I do with clients. So if I want to find, well, first of all, this is another place where you can educate yourself. You see where it says write proposals right here?
Yes, I
You
see
see where
that.
it says award-winning proposals?
Yes.
Those are examples of proposals that were written and people got funded right there.
Nice. Nice.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an example also of some letter of inquiries. This is sometimes everybody that is doing, whether you are a for-profit or nonprofit, you should create a letter of inquiry. That's the reason why I want everybody to make sure that they have a need statement, you know, that you have a written out statement that says what you offer is needed. And that's going to be a part of your letter of inquiry, okay? And sometimes you just send this out to people and be able to get funding, or to organizations to get funding. All right, so this right here is this portion right here. They got an online education portion. They have the proposal area here, where you can see the full grant proposal. I'm not going to go over all of that today, but and then right here they have find grant makers. And you see how it says U.S. charitable, federal, state, Canadian, international charitables. All right, so the reason why I'm telling you all about grantstation.com is because when you go after foundational grants, to me, it's easier. It's just so much easier to apply for the grant. You don't have to like go through, you don't have to be in the, you don't have to have a UE number in the sam.gov system. You don't have to have all these different logins and what have you. You really just got to take some pieces out of your written business plan and form a letter lots of times, or either just take pieces of that written business plan and paste it into the different categories, okay? So let's see. If this is being a blessing to you, please let me know by putting the number 7 in the chat. I hope it is. So let's see. I hope it is. So I'm going to pick a category. Would you guys like me to tell me a category you would like me to pick? Media?
Yeah, media. I was about to say that. Media, yes.
Media? Okay.
Mhm.
I found grants on grants on podcasts.
Oh,
They
nice.
pay, you got grants just to do I was like, wow.
Wow.
Okay, so which one? Do you want me to look up media, film, internet, journalism, radio?
Television.
All right, let's see what's available for television. Okay. See how they're just climbing on out there?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
That
So they
is.
just come right on out there. And
Hey, look.
you see that?
Yeah.
To me,
Right.
this is worth $99.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So I know I've paid the $99, I think, for 2 years. So for the past 2 years, they've been doing it. But I want y'all to just verify before you go ahead and, you know, pay. But because Grant Station by itself is like $99 too. But the reason why I'm asking you guys to do the philanthropy, because you get a whole lot of other information about grants with the philanthropy, you know, and then you get this for free. So here's some examples. The geographic focus is in company communities. So I guess that's the company. Frederick County, Fresno, so that's California. So do you guys see what I'm saying? All right?
I do.
Oregon, USA. So what we're gonna do is, let's just see Catalyst. I'm gonna check on Catalyst. Are you able to see what I can see when I go to the next page?
Yep, sure can.
Okay. So normally what you do is, the foundation's area of interest include international diplomacy, policy research, public radio, TV, arts, culture, and education. And all the information is here. So you can either save it, however you want to do, if you decide to go this route. If not, I understand. And then they'll tell you what areas. This is who you would contact. These are the primary contact. This is how much money they've given annually. This is how much what the grant ranges are. Sometimes they give bigger grants. Nonprofit organizations for this one. You guys see what I'm saying? You can even go to the IRS and look at their 990 form to see exactly who they gave to and how much money they gave to in particular.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so to me sharing this today, prayerfully, is a blessing to y'all.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because I really do mean that when I say that. You share information so that people are able to do it for themselves, but not everybody can do it for themselves. And the people that don't want to do it or can't do it for themselves, then you know what? Contact us. Miss Brenda knows how to get in contact with.
Absolutely, I'll give it to you. So I do have a question. Is there a limit to how many grants you can have at one time?
No, put in for all of them.
Right, that's the plan. That is the plan.
Just put in for all of them, because you don't know what's going to happen. And I believe that everybody that's on this call has the favor of God on them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when our business names, our brands are there, when our personal names are there, favor rests on all of our names. So I'm believing God for totally like big, big funds coming into us. Manifested big funding coming into all of us. But this is just not by chance. Now let me look at my notes to see if I need to share one more thing. Do I? I do. I need to share one more thing.
Okay.
And I didn't put I'm gonna put it in the chat. Now, when you do grants, right? There's certain certifications you can do. Okay. On my purpose is really to empower, educate, and promote. Okay, I already know that. So right now, this is really an empowerment time for the women. So the WOSB is a certification for women-owned businesses that you can get from the government that is free. I'm a WOSB certified person, right? I'm also a military person, so they got certifications for vets. They got certifications for economic disadvantaged people. There's so many different certifications you can do. And then what the government has, it has a set-aside program that is a written law that says, guess what? Y'all are going to give those people the grants. Y'all going to give them those funds. You're going to give them those contracts because it's not fair. So the government has set aside some specific categories, certifications. If you gain that, once you're in the SAM system, you get that certification, then you have a greater chance of actually receiving grants. Okay. Now for the WSB certification, the government has said that they have to give 5% of the federal grants to women owned businesses with that certification, WSB certifications, prime contracts. All right. So prime contracts means big money. Subcontracts means you get a piece of the big money. Okay. So look into that, research the different certifications to see if you qualify for any of them. And if you do, apply for it and just put in for it. Now, here's the thing. I often tell people, this is how you really get grants. You find out what the government wants and what the government needs and what they're selling and provide it for them. So I showed you how to look in the forecast, right? I encourage everybody, no matter what state you're living in, to get in the system, get in the grants game. When I say get in the grants game, that means get clear, get legal, go through the process of getting all the documents done, all right? Get in that system so that you'll be able to apply for grants at different levels, all right? Also apply for grants also in the foundation level to apply everywhere that you possibly can. Just apply, 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 all right? But be strategic about it. And the way you really get funded in closing is that you provide the government what they want. So in closing, this is my last closing for real. I want to share one more thing. And it's a screen about the, if I can find it. So there's a list of entities. Let me find it. Okay, there it is. There's a list, not entities, a list of NAICS codes, NAICS, right? The NAICS codes are the categories. There's a list of NAICS codes that the government still needs women that have that the WSB certification. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys notice that there's a whole lot of farming on here? So they need people, they need us to become, and as a matter of fact, one of my clients actually started a farm here, and she got funded for her farm.
Wow.
So that's why I wanted to share that with you guys. And farming doesn't mean like I'm from South Carolina, plow on the ground or what have you. You could do a farm on the top of your house. You could do a farm on the top of the apartment building. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes.
You could farm they have farms now. I interviewed somebody last week where she actually grow vegetables with water only, no soil.
Oh, yeah.
So there's so many different types of farms. So what I'm saying is, I know that we have men on here, but you know women, and you can share this information, or you can partner with another woman and let her own 51% of the company. You own 49 and everybody get paid. So you see how all of that's on there is farms, a whole lot of farming. Look at all of that. Lord have mercy. Oh, just look at all of that. So I'm not trying to tell you to become a farmer. I'm just saying that that's what the government needs. I know I'm going pretty quick. There's a whole lot of electrical things on here.
That's a lot.
Take the time out. So I need to share this list with you.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to share the list in chat because you see, it goes on and on and on and on.
Yes. Let's see.
It just goes on and on. Footwear, apparel knitting mills, sawmills, wood preservation.
Wow.
It goes on and on and on. I could go on and on and on. So you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Truck trailer manufacturing. There was housing on here earlier that I saw. Just so many different dental labs, sign manufacturing. So that in closing, make the government your customer.
Yes.
Yes. Nice closing.
Right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get that link and put it in the chat.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So we'll open up to questions. Do you have any questions for Dr. Tonya?
Dr. Tonya, thank you for all the information. Thank you for being willing to share. So many people won't even do it. They'll take it to the grave before they share it. So I want to thank you for being a God spirit and a living angel and sharing. How long does it usually take for the government to respond back for a grant that you requested?
They have dates on there. They'll tell you. So when you do a government grant, sometimes it depends on the type of grant that you're doing. So if it's a sources sought grant, it might take 1 week for you to know, or 2 weeks for you to know. But if you're doing like a big grant, like $1 million grant over a 5-year period or what have you, normally you have like 3 months to actually do that grant application. And then they'll tell you in the application, let's say if it's due in March, they'll say, we will let the awardees know who has received the grant by July 1st, 2023. So you'll know in advance.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Praise the Lord, Dr. Did you speaking, Nicole? Go ahead.
To do with me, a veteran. Are there anything that's special like for veterans that we can participate in as parents?
Oh, yes, you can get the vet certification. And who am I speaking to?
This is Nicole.
Okay, yes, Nicole, you can, there's a vet cert that you can get. And if you want to work with the VA hospital, that's a whole different platform for that also. I would research on how to work on how to do grants with the VA hospital. And then there's also service connected disabled certification that you can get. So yes, there's quite a bit that veterans can get.
Great. Do you specialize in that or?
Well, I don't, okay, so here's the thing, certifications. The only one that I really know how to do is the WSB, and I didn't pay any money. I just had to do like my financials. I had to prove that I was a business owner. I had to show my documents to see who were the board members in my business. I had to do all of that paperwork, and I had all that together. So it was easy for me to do the WSB, but I have a colleague that specializes in the certifications that I can refer.
Dr. Tonya, I heard you mention foundation grants. Can you explain a little bit more about what foundation grants are and why you prefer to do those? I heard you say that.
I prefer foundation grants are the grants that are given, like Walmart. Almost every big business will have like a area where they're giving back to the community. And I prefer those grants because they're not like federal government grants. You got to actually download the application for the federal government. You can only use their blueprint. You have to do with everything that the federal government says. And it's like real, there's a whole lot of rules with applying for the government with the government grants. But on the foundation grants, sometimes you just need to send a letter of inquiry and that's it. Just a letter of saying who you are, what you do, and the need that you have that the community has for the product and services. And then you tell them, you ask them for $1,000, you ask them for $10,000. You have a little budget in telling them what you're going to do with all the money. That might be 2 pages. So that might take a day or two because they're a lot easier to actually apply for. Walmart grants, all you got to do is just go in there and cut and paste information from your business plan onto their website, and then you can get the grant.
That's easy.
Walmart grants are really easy to get.
Wow.
But what are their grants for?
Oh, Walmart they will give you money. They'll give you food. As a matter of fact, this is the true story. When I worked for the church, we took our tax exempt letter into Walmart. We didn't even write a letter. They provided toys and food. They gave us so much that we had a surplus. We had to put it away so that we could not, so we gave people Thanksgiving, and we had enough to give people for Christmas.
Wow.
Right.
So Walmart will give.
Okay.
You just got to have that letter.
I have that letter. All right. Anybody else have any questions, comments?
Praise the Lord. Dr. Tonya, it's Sister Frankie again. One of the things that I have found with our business, we've been in business now over 17 years. And one of the things I have found is it's a very competitive field. And we have ran into, even with subcontracting, even recently, we have gotten hit with the subcontractor not doing what they're supposed to do. So we ended up on the end of the stick. And one of the things that we have found is it's hard to get the bids to go through. So what we have been doing now is just basically word of mouth, because this is what we do full time, knocking on doors. Social media is okay, but it's not really getting the full effect because there's so many people out there doing the same thing. What would you suggest would be a good way to really get our business out there and get people to knowing that, we're not just a cleaning company, but we're a Christian owned and operated cleaning company that gives you 100%. And the reason that we even started the business is because my husband and I both worked a 9 to 5, but we was noticing that we wasn't making the money. They were making the money.
Right.
So we're working all these hours, but we wasn't seeing the pay. But then the people that we're working for, they were seeing the pay.
Mhm.
So when we lost our jobs, we just decided we just go ahead and just start a cleaning company. And God blessed us in the recession to be able to still have it. And this is what we've been doing full time, even through COVID. We went and got certified for COVID cleaning. Um, so it's not that we're not pushing and getting out there. It's just that the opportunities have not allowed themselves the way that we thought that we would. So it's making us really have to get out there and knock on doors and word of mouth. And what social media has done is sometimes, if you notice on Facebook, everybody don't see the same amount of people. You may see these same people over and over, but you're not seeing the thousands of people that's your friends that can share or get your name out there. So we're trying to figure out a way, because our business is structured not just for us, but we want to be able to eventually have a place for homeless people. We want to eventually have a place for drug addiction people, and being a domestic violence survivor, I want to be able to have a place for women of domestic violence. So it's like the vision is great, and God knows the vision is great, but it's just a matter. And thank you again, Brenda, for the invite, because everything that we have to recognize is a purpose and a plan for reason God has it going on. We may be thinking, well, why are we on here today? Well, this was already predestined and preordained for us to be on here so that we can get everything we need to go to the next level.
Yes, absolutely.
And he did say he want us to be the lender, not the borrower. So we have to
Mhm.
get that mentality level that I
Mhm.
want to do and have my own. And so I can be a blessing, and I can have people working under me and help
Mhm.
people have start their own businesses. So that's what
Mhm.
success is about.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to figure out a way that we can really, one person told us to just focus on one particular um, service, because we do stripping and waxing floors. So they said focus on just commercial stuff, but we do it all. And we do it all real good. We haven't had any, problems with doing it. But I'm wondering, if we do restructure the business where we're just focusing on just the commercial, would that help us to get the business to the next level?
You know what? So your question is, what can you do in order to ask me your question again?
So what is a good way to really get the business out there,
Okay.
and get it pulling the things that you need to do, because like I said, this is what we do full time. No other job. This is it.
Okay. When you were telling the story about why you and your husband started the business, do you have that written already? Do you have that? I'm not written. Yeah. Do you have it written? And did you and your husband get on a video or something and talk about that? Have you ever shared your story anywhere?
With the amazing BBON network. Yes, we did.
Okay. So you did do that. Okay. Because I would plaster that. That's one of the things I would do, is I would plaster that everywhere. And another thing, what a lot of people, what I found is that a lot of people don't realize that it's about building relationships too. So do you guys, are you, how do I say this? Are you friends with any of the contracting officers? Do you have like a relationship with any of them in the area where you are?
That's the thing, and that's why I know God had me on here, because I'm the type of person that I'm willing to learn ways. I'm open to learn. I'm open to receive. I'm not one of those people that you can't tell anything. So yes, ma'am. Anything you tell me tonight, I will write it down and I will get on it first thing tomorrow.
Okay, because see, because in the contracting officers, you need to make sure you talk to them, because they'll let you know legally. They'll let you know what's coming down the pipeline. Because lots of times when you see it already on grants.gov, it's all, people are ready for it. They're already putting in for it. You get what I'm saying? So what you want to do is you want to get in there and you want to know what's coming down the pipeline before it even comes out. And do you guys have any certifications at all?
we 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 have it's called BIMCO,
Okay.
janitorial cleaning certifications. But with cleaning, they really don't you really don't have to have any licensing or certification, because it's cleaning is considered a service. But we want to become an MBE. But it's very, 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 very difficult to get that. I've tried 3 times and it's just So like I said, it's a matter of just connecting with the right people.
Yes, it's connecting with the right people. And I know somebody that specializes in that also. So if you have a session with me, Miss Brenda knows I will sit down with you and give you all the information. And you know, and here's another thing, Miss Frankie, Minister Frankie, do you have to live in the state where you get the contract?
No,
No.
ma'am.
Okay, all right.
In fact, one of the things that me and my husband was discussing, I have family in Alabama right now that I could hire and get and put them to work on a project. I got family in Florida right now that I can hire and put on a project. I got people that have been calling us saying, "Do y'all have any work?" So it's not that we don't want to. And then we even travel to Mississippi to do a painting job. We've traveled to Florida to do a construction cleanup job. We've even traveled to New Jersey to do a construction cleanup job because we just believe that where we are is not where we're going to be. And we know that it's greater. And when your vision is great, you know, of course, the attacks are going to be greater, but the blessings are greater if you continue to stay on point. So even though it's been a lot of hits, because we took a couple of hits recently with major contracts, subcontracting, but at the same time, like I told my husband, I said that was just a door that God closed so that he can shift us to the next level.
Because here's the thing, if you are 51% owned, and when I say certifications, I mean the federal government cert, like that EDSB,
EIN.
the WOSB cert, that's the type of certs I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you get those certifications. Remember I talked about the 5%, they have to give it to you
Mm-hmm.
because you have to, you get what I'm saying? They have to do it. They
Yes,
don't have a
ma'am.
choice.
Mhm.
And then you have past performance because you've been doing this for a long time. So you are a prime contractor. So it's just a matter of you getting all the pieces in the, you know, pieces together
Yes,
to be able to
ma'am.
go ahead and start applying for those big contracts.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
and sometimes you only need one big contract for 5 years. There's certain
That's it.
contracts, and that's it, and you're done. You don't ever have to work again. You know?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
my prayer for you is that you will that God will reveal to you exactly how he wants you to do it, you know, and then that you will expand, you know, that territory, it won't be just DMV, but it will be that your territory will be expanding, you know,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
maybe even considering something else, you know, something else. So, and then, but see, here's the thing, this is what, this is, I know this is an open forum, but one of the reasons why I decided to do the type of business that I'm doing, I'm a 4th generation business owner. I decided to do the business I'm doing is because I didn't want to have to be there all the time. Right? My great grandmother, my grandmother, those are my first 2 jobs, really. They cleaned people's houses in South Carolina, and we had to do the work. And my mom and dad, restaurant, they will open up 6 days a week and they only rested 1 day a week. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I had to think, you know, what can I do? How am I going to make money whether I'm there or not?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm praying that that's how you be thinking, that you will, because if you're the CEO, you can't do all the work. Because what you're doing is you're looking from a balcony view. See what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
But that's not easy because, you know, you want to clean it. I know how I am. Nobody, you know.
It's hard to find people that know how to clean the way you know
Yes,
how to clean. And so
where
when
you know how to clean.
you have to train them.
Yes. You got to
Yes,
train them.
ma'am. Mm-hmm.
And that takes time, you
Yes,
know.
it does.
But you are a CEO. You know, I think I said that last night when we did the chat. I put down minister/CEO. You're the CEO. So CEOs, you know, they're not picking up the room anymore. They're you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
They're actually training people on how to do the job, you know, and it's a heavier, you know, it's a lot having to like make payroll and train people and trust people, you know, but you're a woman of God. So you'll pray and God will send the people in that needs to be there.
And one of the other things that everybody has been telling me is that I need to go into counseling because I do an amazing job of it. But I was like,
Mm-hmm. Did you try NAMI? You ever heard of NAMI before? National Alliance
NAMI?
of Mental Illness. Yeah. They give out
Oh.
certifications. I've gotten some certifications in family counseling, and
Oh,
also
wow.
yes, you can go through them. NAMI, it's free too.
How do you,
I found grants on counseling too. Counseling, you know, counseling the youth. The state of Nevada. I
Mm.
found grants on that too. So
you know,
I found. Go ahead.
I guess we have to be careful what we ask God for, because when you tell him that you're willing to be a vessel, he will use you in that way. And I have people call me sometimes 3 and 4, 5, 6 times a day, just saying, you know, telling me their whole life story, and I'm just praying and encouraging them. But it's something I enjoy. So maybe I should go into counseling.
And
I
you're
don't
good
know.
at it. And you're good at it. You counsel me through. I recently lost my son, and she's been counseling me, praying over me. So that, yeah, she'll be good at it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to train people and let people do the work. You know,
I
it's okay.
received that.
It's okay. It's not easy because I had struggled with that. I was like, you know, they ain't gonna write it the way I write it, but I got to realize that they're writing it the way God told them to write it, you know? And I just have to trust God and believe and realize that, you know, that too much is given, much is required. And that required sometimes means that I have to trust,
Yes.
you know?
Yes,
I have to
ma'am.
trust others because I'm not going to be a billionaire by doing all the work myself.
Ooh, you preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I did have a question, Dr. Tonya, about the BBON, the Black Business Owners Network. We've been in existence since 2004. As just as a group, I started off as a group to kind of help me to learn how to run a business. So like that, and networking with the business owners there has helped me with that. So I like to give back. So, but I'm currently a LLC. So I don't know, should I switch? Can you switch to nonprofit or how would that work?
Well, when I first started out, God led me to do a nonprofit and a for-profit at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay for you to do a nonprofit leg. Because remember, there are going to be certain grants that you can't apply for if you're not a nonprofit. And there can be certain grants that you can't get if you are, you know, so it's best to have those two designations. It's okay to have two businesses.
You have two? Okay.
Yeah, you want to do a nonprofit and a for-profit. And the way that God gave me was that my for-profit would feed that nonprofit.
Yes, yes.
So
Yeah. Also wanted to, I have a nonprofit I do want to start, another one called the Gift of Hope. So I've had that, you know, just trying to get people the gift of hope. You know. So I'm gonna do that and open up a facility and help and give back to the homeless and try to prevent homelessness. Because,
you know, there's a lot of funding available for that. Quite a bit of funding available for that.
Wow, nice. And I
Quite
do
a
have a
bit.
story. I do have a story to tell about once being homeless myself. So, you know, I want to give back. I definitely want to give back. I hear God telling me to do this.
So maybe you and Frankie could partnership, aren't y'all in the same state?
Yeah, we go to the same church. Everything. Yeah.
I could possibly partnership with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a blessing because
Yeah.
the way we connected was truly God.
Yeah.
And I've been, he'll wake me up in the morning and say, call Brenda. I'll be like, call Brenda, she all right? And I'll call her. And it's just how God does the thing. And I just thank God for even the journey that he has me on now, where he shows me people's lives. He speaks to me about people. He tell me what to say. And I be telling people their business and they be looking at me like, how you know? And I be like, it ain't me, so don't be mad at me. But it's an amazing journey that I'm on now. And my desire is, because I have been through so much, is to be a blessing to so many. I've had the homeless thing plenty of times. In fact, we just came through that 3 years ago, where the landlord said that she no longer wanted to rent and we had to leave her property. So I definitely know both sides of the thing, the good parts and the bad parts, but I think that would definitely be something. I was really thinking about a nonprofit. So yeah, we're gonna have to get together, Brenda. Let's go ahead and make these millions.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Hey,
And
I want to get in on.
I see my sister D in the chat room too, saying she would like to join us and help us out with the homeless project. You there, D?
That sounds like a blessing.
All right, D.
Yes, I'm here. I certainly, it's kind of funny that I'm on this call. So I just had a discussion with my best friend this morning, and I was saying, I'm going to do something with the homelessness. I want to give back to women. We need to find out how to open something.
Yeah,
Like,
there we go. All in the same area. So let's do it.
Well, D, I'm not gonna mess with you tonight, but can I tell you that what you getting ready to walk into 2023 is gonna make up for everything that you've been through for these last 3 years.
God.
I receive it.
Yeah,
It's
I
just, and my
love it.
story is short. I'm a mortgage broker by trade, and I
Mhm.
used to can say, I can't say I like mortgages now, but I used to love it. I'm more so about helping people get on track, get their finances on track, get their family on track. Let them know that no matter where they are, you can do better. There's better. God has already ordained that you should have everything. So you just have to walk into faith and believe Him. There's a season, and the season is coming. Just don't, like Brenda, that hope thing. Don't give up hope.
Okay.
Don't give.
Okay.
Everything happens to all of us for a reason. God already knows. See, we the one who don't know. We the
Right.
one walking around with blinders on. Because if He told us, we wouldn't know what to do with the knowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
But He already gave us all the tools inside of us for us to be all that He wants us to be.
Absolutely.
And Miss D, go ahead and write your book, young lady, please.
Yeah, you know what? I did write a chapter in a book. It's called Women Inspiring Nations, Bruised but Not Broken.
Oh, nice.
And it's a #1 bestseller on Amazon.
Congratulations.
I both got a one chapter in it, but it's that was my first start of putting it down to the paper.
All right, now, Mr. Christopher, you want to talk a little bit about your inventions?
Yeah.
What you need?
Well, I was looking for the same. She basically gave me information
Everything you need.
needed and where to go. So I really don't have much questions, but I do have something to share.
Okay.
Um, it's just I have an inside tip. It's my nephew. He's one brilliant young man to the stock investment, and we was talking about he was giving me information on stocks that I can invest in, and they're called government bonds, which are low risk. And mature every 6 months. So you can invest low as $100 and up. There's no limit to it. And that's just something I want to share with BBO members and things. I have written down estimate that if you was to invest like $2,000, you bought a government bond for $2,000 at 4% interest. At every 6 months, you would probably the return will probably be about $80 a month. 3 times that by 6 months, and that's $480
Okay.
every month. It's not big, but it is something that you can invest in and just let it grow. The more money you invest, the more bigger your return. So, and I was just looking at a 5-year. A 5-year investment would be like 10 6 months. And if you was to do it 15 years, that'll be like 36 months in time. The 480,
Right.
and that'll be like $4,800. And that's just on a 10-month. That's 5 years. So if it's 15 years, it'll be 30, and that'll bring you to about 144. It's just a coincidence that it would come to 144, like the 144 chosen people, or That's in the Bible, the
Mhm.
100 were chosen. 'Cause
Mhm.
that's, but yeah. So in about 15 years, at a $2,000 budget on a 6 months return every 6 months for 15 years, you would have $144,000.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then there is the SP 500,
Mhm. I heard of that. Mhm.
a more higher risk, but you're investing in like a bundle of stocks. So if one stock loses, the next stock may win. So it's almost, what I'm saying, it's a win give type of situation, but you can earn money quicker with that that stock. But that's one, for somebody, what I'm saying, like around my age, I'm 55,
Mhm.
know, we didn't have this information when I was coming up. I didn't know about a computer when I was young.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So the information we getting now is just so useful these
Mhm.
days. It's like, wow, I wish I had somebody telling me this,
Mhm.
25 years ago.
Right.
But it's never too late.
Mhm. Yep.
I'm looking to gain some money because I like to share. I don't know if y'all know about Mammon. Mammon is anything from clothes, food, money, information. We're supposed to share this. I mean, that's our purpose in life. That's what God wants us to do.
Right.
And living in this this world, this capitalist world, you got, it's always got to get yours before I get
Mhm.
mine. I'm glad that we have so many sharing people with so much, information, help
Mhm.
each other, bring each other up. Because
Yeah.
that's what it's about. Because,
Mhm.
and you can't take it with you.
No, definitely can't. Mhm. Good
You
stuff.
can't
Good
take it
stuff. Good
with you.
information.
So, share what you have.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And
Thank you. That was great. Everybody's saying thank you, Chris, in the chat. So thank you so much for that information. That's thank you for sharing. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Nicole, did you get everything you needed? Did you have any other questions? Comments?
No, I got everything. Great.
Hmm?
I said, no, I got everything. It's great. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Yeah. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for joining the call today. A lot of us on the call here are already partners. I would love to be partners with everybody here and just grow tremendously. I cannot wait. So thank you again, Dr. Tonya. Did you have any closing remarks? How did it go? How do you think it went?
Awesome for me. I hope everybody was blessed. I'll be praying for everybody. And
Mhm.
thank you for the opportunity. And Chris, thank you so much for sharing that information.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And also be sure to join the BBON. We have a Facebook group with over 72,000 members worldwide. So come on over to our Facebook group. That's how I met most everybody on here. We have that and then the website as well, www.thebBON.com, THEBBON.com. You can join us there as well. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you everybody again for joining us. If you want to go around and just say how people can reach you, you're welcome to do that as well. I'm open to all of us networking together. Anybody want to give the name of their company, like how they can be found on social media, their website?
I think I do. The name of my company is Conglomerate Empowerment. The best way to reach me would be on LinkedIn, Dr. Tonya Blackmon.
Nice.
All O's.
Okay. Okay. See some people putting things in the chat as well. Just share your information in the chat. Yes, yes. All right, so once you guys get straight with the grant, get your business funded, and then y'all make sure y'all come to us so we can promote you guys and really excel. Let's all work together and do this. All right, thank you guys again for joining us. Brenda Eason from the BBON signing off.